Sugar, you deserve to go out on your own terms. Just because you got dusted doesn't mean you're done.
Welcome to the Busy Girls Book Club. We are a podcast that reads and reviews the internet's favorite books, and we tell you if it's really worth it to read them, especially if you're busy like us. I'm Casey.
I'm Caitlin.
And I'm Catherine. And if you couldn't tell by our quote, we are doing a romance novel, not just any. It is the first book in the Lost and Lassoed series, Done and Dusted. It's a very, very popular romance book series on TikTok. In fact, the reason why I started reading it is because Ilona Maher recommended this series on her podcast. So I read it because I was like, I'm going to trust Ilona Maher on this one. Anyway, it's a book that follows Emmy, who is a champion barrel racer from Meadowlark, Wyoming, and she goes through an accident. So she's no longer barrel racing. So she heads home and meets her brother's childhood best friend again for the first time in like 10 years. And they start having chemistry, even though they used to hate each other or dislike each other. And she's going through her own kind of PTSD journey, and he's there helping her up and helping her out. And it's kind of just about her coming back to this town that she grew up in and how much it's different from when she was a kid. And it's also about her family in general. So that's kind of a summary of the book.
Oh, yeah. A good summary. Do you guys have reviews from the internet for us to read?
There were a lot of good reviews.
Yeah, there's some really funny ones. There's some funny.
I mean, literally the first one on Goodreads is for the 1 stars is just not to be dramatic, but this book made me want to yeehaw myself off a cliff. That's what we started with.
I like the quote that you chose for the beginning because all my reviews have to do with it.
Yep, I saw so many about that, and I was like, I cannot wait.
4 stars because the MMC used sugar way too much.
Yep.
This one's a 3.5 stars. It says, God and I want to move to a ranch, but calling people sugar reminded me so bad of a Southern lady working in a diner, and that super ruined the illusion.
Yeah.
Also, yes. Okay, I also have 2. Both 1 stars and both funny. First one, from this book, I've learned that PTSD, panic attacks, and ADHD are no match for sexy cowboys. Never mind therapy. Apparently, all you need is a good dickin'.
True enough.
Yeah. And then my last one, which is my favorite. Save yourself from reading this book. Ride a cowboy.
I mean, not bad advice.
Yeah, rather than save a horse, ride a cowboy. I was like, I what you did there.
Okay, well, here's what the internet reviews average out to. Goodreads, 3.8 out of 5. Fable, 3.5 out of 5. And Storygraph, 3.81 out of 5. This is lower than we've read in a while, but still like pretty good. It's on the high end. What did you guys rate it?
I feel like mine is going to be the highest, but it's not that high. Honestly, I gave it 3 stars. I mean, it is an average book. It is literally just an average romance. It's not a great romance. It's not an amazing romance. I would just say it filled a void I needed. I needed a escapism book that was short and sweet and had a good ending. And that's what romance books do for you. And that's sometimes what I need when I'm reading. So it scratched an itch, and that was about it. So it's 3.
I guess I'll go next because I am also 3 stars. It was mid. It was fine. It had some plot holes, and he said sugar a lot.
Yes.
But it was cute. Also, like, we went from reading, let me just list for you our last few books. Golden Sun, Catabasis, The First Witch to Boston, Witchcraft for Wayward Girls, Tour Season, Girl Dinner, Mate, Alchemized. I went from reading all that to this and the whiplash. I thought it would be a fun little break, but instead it felt like going from like graduate studies to kindergarten.
I mean,
Yeah, it kind of did. Um, okay, I gave the book 1 star.
I love that I didn't look. It's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was terrible. It read like satire. That's how bad I thought it was. Because it was supposed to be very earnest romance, and it just like felt closer to being a comedy. It felt so close to being satire that I almost liked it. It almost created the effect of like the Blue People book. What was
Ice
that?
Planet Barbarians.
Oh, God.
Like that is the level
Those
we
are not
approach
the
with
same,
this
okay?
novel.
Even I will admit those are not the same.
No.
Quality wise, I felt we were getting very close to the same level. There was a few things. I mean, I just thought the main characters had no chemistry, and I thought the backstory that was set up was really weak. Um, the dirty talk and the sex scenes actually gave me full body cringe. They did not turn me on at all. They like actually icked me out so hard. And then the real deal breaker for me was the weird possessiveness of the older brother and the main love interest. It felt so patriarchal and outdated and gross to me, like borderline incest on one hand and then so toxic on the other.
Okay.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not letting that one slide.
I will say
I'll
it's
let slide.
giving conservative small town. However, I will not say it's giving incest.
It's not giving incest. You are crazy for that statement.
I don't mean it actually read as in they were literally having sex. I mean, it is so weird for a brother to feel that way about his sibling, in my opinion. Like, I have friends with brothers, and none of them would behave even remotely like this. I just thought it was so weird. Anyway, we'll get into it more later. The main character does at one point, the brother gets mad, and then the love interest is like, Emmy's mine. He can't have her. And I was like, all right. And that's a 1 star. So, anyway, our non-spoiler discussion is the book more plot or character driven?
I mean, this is hard because there's not much of a plot.
Yeah, there's no tension, there's no conflict.
Yeah.
I was filling out my story graph and I actually put character because
Yeah.
it's a mental block that puts her in her new situation.
It's definitely like romance character driven. Like they're deciding their own fate. It's a slice of life kind of book.
There's no plot. It's slice of life.
Yeah.
Even the thing I thought would be a big plot point ended up not even being.
Not being a plot point. Yeah. Everything kind of just faded to the background in this book. I'd kind of compare it to, what was that Abby Jimenez we read all.
Oh, don't
about
you call that?
love?
You're calling her
Say You'll Remember Me?
Say You'll Remember Me. Just in the fact that the plot was like very boring.
I would say this is like Pumpkin Spice Cafe, like small town, nothing going on, just a romance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I will say, like, the author herself lives in small town Wyoming, so I'm pretty sure she knows this area.
There is a big readership out there for these.
Yes.
Oh, I believe it. There has to be. I see this book
And a lot of people like the brother's best friend trope.
Yeah. That's a very common trope, is the overprotective older brother and the brother's best friend.
Yes. It is.
I mean, literally, there's a Victoria Justice song called My Best Friend's Brother is the One for Me.
Yeah, no, I'm aware.
Let's not bring Victoria Justice into this.
Yeah, leave that girl alone. Okay.
Not worth my time.
Yeah. Have you or would you read other books by the author? The author has continued writing.
Let's let Catherine answer this because I've seen her Goodreads.
Yeah.
So I've read this whole series, the Lost and Lassoed series. This is not my favorite book of the series. I will just say that right now. I think book 3 is the best of the series. The rest of the series got like 2 and 3 stars for me. I got a 4-star out of the 3rd book, only because I think the 2 characters actually had more chemistry.
Here's the thing. I looked at the covers and I could tell which brother was about, which sibling, which was happening. And so I can already tell me if I'm wrong. The 3rd book is her oldest brother and her bestie.
It is.
Yes. The whole time I was reading this book, I was like, I wish I was reading that book, actually.
It is. I would recommend that book.
I was reading this book and I thought, wow, the only people who actually have chemistry in this book are Teddy and Gus.
Yep, yeah. It's Teddy and Gus. You are correct. And yes, they have so much more chemistry in that book.
And let me guess, the second one is Wes and the designer girl.
It is indeed.
Look at that. I don't even have to read them.
Yes. But yes, so I've read all of them. I mean, here's the thing. It scratched an itch. Like I said earlier, I was in quite the reading slump where I just really didn't want to read anything that had any heavy topics. We were also reading a lot of heavy topic books during this time period. So it was either not read anything but podcast books or read these kind of like fluffy cotton candy books. And I enjoyed them. I read them all each in like one sitting, like separately one sittings. And it scratches an itch for me. I like romance books, especially if they bring something interesting to the table. And I think this series is interesting in itself just because it follows the full family. And I don't know. I like romance novels.
I will give you, it was a palate cleanser.
Yes. Life is already hard enough. Let me live with my cowboy romance.
Oh, Casey's judging so hard.
I'm like, okay. Anyway,
we have different reading experiences and journeys. It's fine.
We do. No.
I love a silly little plot list book.
Yeah, lots of people like.
Had I not read this after a ton of dark and heavy sci-fi fantasy books, maybe I would have liked it better.
Fair.
Okay. The next question is, how was the pacing of the book? How long did it take you to read?
I mean, like I said, one sitting, so it's paced fairly well for me.
I read 20% and I went, nope, put it down for a week. And then I picked it up and read it in like 2 sittings.
You still gave it 3 stars, so I'm impressed.
It was a silly little romance. There's plenty of people who would like it. I don't know.
Yeah, I thought the pacing in this book was terrible.
Of course you did.
Nothing happens. So there's no reason to keep reading, and there's not even tension between the main characters. So there's literally no motor behind most of the book at all. And so I was literally just spent so much of this book bored. I hate audiobooks.
Did you listen to this on audiobook?
I did. The reason I did that is because every time I sat down and actually pulled up my Kindle app to read this book, I couldn't make myself actually turn the pages. I wanted to quit immediately. And so what I would do is I would go on long walks and force myself to put the audiobook on and listen to it because that's the only way I could get through it.
Oh my God,
now we're just going to get an inbox of cowboy romances before you, Casey.
No, this is making me so want to force Casey to read a hockey romance book.
No, I can't.
Oh, we should do Icebreaker.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Icebreaker.
The ending of Icebreaker would send Casey over a cliff.
Yes.
I draw the line. I was semi-interested in trying this one because of the Western setting. Yeah. As a Texas girl, the hockey romance you will not get me.
No, you have to read Icebreaker, Casey. I need your opinion.
I'd be scared to catch those hands afterwards for suggesting it.
To everyone who hits us up in our DMs, we love you. Stop loving it so much when I hate things, because now there's only even more incentive for Caitlin and Catherine to force me to read stuff they'll know I don't like.
will say a comment. There's another group where I received a comment once that was, does Casey like any book?
That's true.
She's picky.
I am picky, but there are lots of books on this podcast I've liked.
Yes.
Not this one, though.
Not this one.
We do tend to just really pull apart even the ones we like, though.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, what's the point of discussing books?
Yes.
Okay. Anyway, would you watch a movie or TV show of this book?
Yeah, it's a Hallmark movie, let's be clear. And I watch Hallmark movies, so there you go.
That's a dirty Hallmark movie, man.
I mean, have you seen Hallmark movies lately?
Nope.
Evidently, they're getting spicy. Honestly, I kind of love that for them.
No. I will not.
Yeah. Also, no. I'd like to reiterate, maybe if it was about the brother and the best friend.
See? Maybe we just need to go to book 3, because honestly, you'll enjoy it more.
Or, hear me out, we don't do this anymore. for the
That's fair.
podcast.
That's fair. So then we
It
go to
is so
hockey
cute.
romances, so we can go to the boy aquarium.
I will
I feel
allow
like-
that.
This is the first romance that has gotten a better review from Catherine than it has from Caitlin, and I'm kind of living for it.
You gave it the same star rating.
Yeah, but Caitlin's like, let's not.
I was just bored. I needed something to awaken me, and that was
Fair.
not it.
That's fair.
Thanks.
I'm in like a slump after reading all those like crazy long.
That's what I'm
awesome
saying.
books.
I'm not
Yeah.
saying this got me out of my slump. It just helped. Where it was just like, okay, this is easy for me to read. I can turn off my brain.
I'm just anticipating discussing one of my favorite books of the year soon.
Oh my god, yeah, Dungeon Crawler Carl.
All right. Anyway, busy
Hey,
girl.
I'm just saying we each have our thing.
That's true. Everybody does have their thing.
Casey's is weird serial killer.
Bunny.
Yeah. I don't even know how to describe that book. I was about to try.
I don't know how to describe it either. It's just
Yeah.
weird culty vibes.
Yep. It gets me every time. Just put 5 psychotic female characters in a book and I'll love it.
You didn't like Final Girl Support Group.
Well, I didn't read that one.
Okay. Busy girl rating.
I'm gonna bump mine up to a 4. Just
Yeah,
because
actually, I
there's
was gonna do
nothing.
the same. There's nothing keeping you from reading this book
You can read it in one sitting if you really tried.
if you're not me and just say, nope.
If you like romance, it's a 5.
It
If
was
you
still
don't
fun,
like
yeah.
romance, it's a 3. Like there's like a weird in between. If you're gonna do the in between of those two, it's 4.
Casey's about to give it like a 2.
I'm giving it a 1. Yeah, I just
God, you're
cannot
Okay,
imagine.
hold on though. Let's rediscuss what a busy girl rating is. It's
I can
not just
explain
whether
my
you would
rating.
recommend it, it's about how fast it is too.
I know that. And I didn't read it fast because I hated it. My busy girl rating, I'm gonna do what I want to do.
I'm
The
judging.
reason-
I feel
I'm
like you're
judging
cheating
too.
the system a little bit.
Go ahead, judge away. It's not gonna stop me. I think that
I
this
can't
is
wait
fun.
for whatever book bracket we have for our end of the year review whenever this comes up against like Catabasis or something.
Can we choose this?
I don't even like Catabasis that much, though.
I know.
I would still vote for Catabasis over this, but whatever. It doesn't matter. I think that this book is boring. I think there's no plot. The characters have no chemistry. So I'm not sure what's in it for romance readers. I'm also not sure what's in it for non-romance readers, which is why I think I'm going to still give it a 1.
Okay.
Okay. There were lots of people, 5 stars. I'm into cowboys now.
Yeah. Save a horse, ride a cowboy.
And those people,
Lots of people who are like, wow, I need me a cowboy. I was like, that man wasn't even a cowboy, but okay.
Yeah. Even the bar owner, but okay.
yeah, he owned a bar and wore backwards hats.
Yeah.
There wasn't even a cowboy hat.
No, not at all.
Anyway, we're going to go to our spoiler alert section and buckle up because the first question written here it says, Casey, I'm sure you have a lot of opinions on this book, so here's your chance to rant. LOL.
You're welcome.
So, spoiler alert.
Honestly, I feel like I've already said like the main points. I think it's cringy, and I do think the brother love interest weird rivalry that develops is really icky. I know you guys disagreed with me on that point, but
Well, you called it incestual, which it's a very harsh word to call that.
for a brother to be that protected and invested in his sister's love life is incestuous to me. That's so weird. And it's a total double standard because imagine acting that way with your sister. You would fucking never. You would never behave even close to the way the brother in this book behaves.
I guess I give a little grace only because I've read his book. And it's really comes from like the fact that their mother died so young and he felt like he partially raised her. So it's almost like he's a father figure to his sister.
Yeah, her father was totally okay with the romance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say my brother-in-law knows not to be afraid of my parents. He's afraid of me.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah. But the older brother in this book calls his sister 1,000 times, banging her phone, wondering who she's having sex with. I was like,
I feel like we read different books.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember the exact scene. It's in the beginning of the book.
Yeah, the boy from high school that like ditched her for another girl at a dance, and the brothers, messed him up for it. He saw her at the bar and he gave her a ride home, but Luke told them she left with him. And he was like,
Yes.
"Were you sleeping with so and so?" I get that.
You get that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I thought this book was so weird.
Here's what I'll give you my two major plot issues, okay?
Mhm.
It does have to do with the family and Luke being like a part of the family, essentially.
Mhm.
I didn't get what sparked it going from, friendship to love, because she said she came home for holidays. Are you telling me you never saw him when you were home for a holiday when this man lives at the
Yes.
house?
Yes, I
basically?
was thinking that the entire time. I was like, you guys still know each other.
Yeah.
Right. You didn't just see him after like 10 years. Like,
That's fair.
you would have seen him. My other issue is she kept talking about there was more to the story of her injury and we never got more. I don't
Yeah.
understand what her block was. She got over it real quick because of the hot man and
Took
then
him
set a
down.
record and retired.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Yeah,
All you
that
need
was,
to do
I will
is
say the barrel
PTSD,
racing was a
good
plot.
Dickin. Yeah. I also thought this book was interesting because I actually have a cousin who does barrel racing. Yeah, so I was sort of intrigued by that being her thing. And I also had a friend who had a very traumatic injury. She like raced horses and broke her back and had to like have like surgery on her spine. Like it was very serious. Um, but honestly, knowing all of that backstory made me even more critical of this book because, like the review I read, it's like, oh, all she needed to get over this was a good dickin'. Like,
Yeah, I do wish that we could have explored her mental issues more or mental health journey, just because like she had ADHD and then the
Mhm.
PTSD panic attacks from the accident, but we don't get a lot of info on the accident except for that like it was pretty traumatic. It wasn't her fault.
Also, this all plays together about the two things I said. We don't get why Luke just sits there and holds her for so long through her panic attack, which was sweet. It was sweet.
Mhm.
But I'm kind of like, you guys don't know where you stand and she kind of hates you. And yeah, she like asked for it. You were offering to help, but you went from like never noticing this girl to like comforting her in her deepest, darkest moment real quick.
Yeah, it was a quick. I mean, like obviously it's a romance novel, so like things,
Yeah.
especially if it's under like 400 pages, there's going to be a very quick progression of things, and I think that's what you have to accept.
Will
when you
say,
read
I
romance.
was checking. There was no sexy time until after 50% of the book.
Yes,
Yeah.
which is good. I mean, like it's not that quick. It's quick, but it's not that.
I was like, wow, this is insta love. And I was like, oh, they're letting it burn a little.
Yeah,
It still felt extremely insta love, though.
it was still pretty
Just-
insta love, but it
It
wasn't
got
sex.
extremely deep very quickly, like emotionally.
I just didn't get how it got that far that fast. But it's a short book, so.
Also, I want to be clear that my issue is not just with the brother. I actually had bigger issues with Luke, the male main character, and how he was responding. Because the brother got all protective, and then Luke was like, "No, she's mine." Like, can you imagine having a boyfriend that was like trying to fucking fight your family over like you being his? And the bar scene where this guy literally just goes to talk to her and is being a little creepy and he like flips out. I was like, the male possessiveness thing has gone too far.
I mean, okay, I see what you mean. I didn't like the like she's mine to her brother. Like that felt a little off to me too. For the creepy man that he saved her from, I mean, that's kind of like something that girls hope for, is that there's some sort of person to protect them from creepy men.
Yes.
In
my
double denim,
issue-
punch that man in the face.
um,
Okay,
My
Justin
issue with it
Timberlake.
is I didn't feel like, yes, the man was being creepy, but he was not being crazy. Like, they were still handling that situation. And he didn't intervene just because that man was being crazy. He intervened because he was jealous. And they were not even together at that time.
I don't even really mind the jealousy thing, actually.
no.
Oh, it grossed me out.
I love a possessive MMC.
one guy walks up to you and puts his hand on your thigh, and this man you're not even with comes and punches him in the face. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Mm.
Oh, no, he punched him because he called her a bitch.
Yeah.
Well, that was deserved.
Yeah.
But the situation only escalated because he went over there.
I mean, for sure. But I will say there is a degree in like my core that like wants to be, I guess, protected from like creepy guys touching me.
I think I like a possessive MMC.
Yeah. I think so too.
Yeah.
You know, where's my wife? Yeah.
Wait, what's that from?
ACOTAR.
Is that ACOTAR? Sorry. Okay, yeah. I think the scene could have been written in a way I would have liked it. I think my point is that he intercedes very early and not on her behalf. He intercedes for his own feelings and protecting his own ego because he feels slighted that another man is talking to her.
I get what you mean.
I don't mind it.
But I also don't mind it. I understand where you're coming from, though.
I see you. I hear you. I disagree politely.
All right, queens. Y'all got your possessive men's then.
It is what it is.
Okay. One of the questions is, have y'all ever been to Wyoming and have y'all ever ridden a horse? So
Okay, I have to ask.
I have ridden a horse twice. I have not been to Wyoming, but it is high on the list. Wait, no, I have been to Wyoming. I went to Devil's Tower. That's in Wyoming.
It is.
I have ridden a horse a handful of times. Not like a ton, but like fairly consistently throughout my childhood, just like on trips. I don't know. And then I have not been to Wyoming, but I have been to Montana, which very much gives Wyoming vibes. They're neighbors.
Very much so. So I have been to Wyoming, and I will say it's the most beautiful place I've ever been to. Grand Teton National Park is the #1 national park I've ever been to. It is fucking gorgeous.
I praise. She's been to a lot of parks, guys.
I've been to many dozen or a couple of dozen parks. And Grand Teton is by far the most beautiful. Yellowstone, amazing. Like Wyoming, the natural scenery of Wyoming is just so gorgeous. It's also got it's a very weird vibe. You really do feel like you've stepped back in time a lot of the time when you're in Wyoming, especially when you go into the cities. Like we literally, I think it was like Cody. I think that was the name of the city. And it's not really a city, it's a small town. We were going to dinner and we walked past in the middle of the street, 2 people cosplaying as like old Western, like outlaw versus sheriff. And they were shooting off fake guns at each other. And if you had just walked in on that without actually having any context, you would think these 2 people are actually trying to shoot each other because the guns were still making gun sounds without anything coming out of them. And that whole time I was like, I'm in an acid trip. I don't even know what's going on. What are these people doing? But it was like so cool because it was just like, okay, we're accepting that this is normal. Cool.
That happened in Salem.
Yeah. It's just, I mean, like you don't expect it. But it was very cool. And I have ridden many a horse. I went to horseback riding camp as a kid because I grew up in Texas.
That's why she likes it. She's a horse girl.
I'm not a horse girl. I mean, like
girl.
as a child, yes. As an adult, no. Okay, I don't want to ride a horse ever again.
Our personalities. Casey had diabetes camp. I had church camp and student council camp, and Catherine had horse camp.
Yep,
horse camp.
I mean,
that says a lot about all 3 of us.
Honestly. I will defend myself only because I was born in Illinois to 2 very northern parents. Moved here when I was 3 to Texas. They thought that that's where I can make friends because Texans ride horses. So that's where horse camp came in. So I learned how to ride a horse.
Yeah.
So I know, what is your total national park count?
It's like 28, I want to say. I'm not, maybe
it's... got me beat.
No, I think you have me beat. I think I'm counting internationals too.
I've got 22 U.S. parks.
Okay, yeah. My U.S. parks is not as high as my international. I don't know.
got like 6 international parks. Casey's like, shut up.
Yeah, I don't know how many I've been to. Probably like 3.
But anyway, we've all ridden a horse because we're all from southern U.S.
Actually, I went to the stables a lot with one of my friends who rode as a child, but my dad was really weird about like the safety of horses. So I've only ridden a horse like 2 or 3 times, and they were usually on like I did a trail ride in Colorado, like that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I was around horses more than I was on horses.
I
But
don't know.
yes, there's like a little bit of a farm side here because I live really close to the farm stuff, yet really close to downtown Kansas City. So
There you go.
best of both worlds, Hannah Montana.
Just like our girl Emmy. So Emmy is the female main character. Also, okay, I forgot to mention this. My cousin who does barrel racing, her name is Clementine. Like, I'm
That's
not.
hilarious.
Yes,
Stop it.
yes. That's probably.
Has she read this book?
I don't know.
You should recommend this book to her.
I actually would like her opinions on this book.
As a Clementine barrel racer.
Yeah, she would probably be mad just because there's not that much actual barrel racing and the technique of it in the story.
Also, is Denver a barrel racing hub? I'm confused.
No, I have no idea why this book was based in Denver.
I mean, I will say like Colorado's definitely got like the PBR and rodeo scene.
Sure, so does Missouri.
That's true.
Yeah. Okay, anyway, so Emmy is the main character. She has this accident that kind of sends her home. It's very typical Hallmark story. Girl goes home, falls in love, decides to live a quaint life instead of chasing her former ambitions in the big city. So yeah, what did you guys think about her accident and her in general?
I mean, we kind of already mentioned that, like, we don't get a lot of explanation on the accident, except for that it makes her now scared of horses, which has been her love of her life. I wish we had explored it a bit more because I think there was these really interesting moments where like she's confronting, like, this is one of her horses that's from her childhood and she barely can like stand next to him or stand next to them because she's like so scared of getting hurt. And I think that's a very interesting like thing when you grow up on a farm, you grow up riding a horse, you grow up wanting to be a barrel racer and wanting to be part of the rodeo. And now suddenly you are having to grapple with like you being deathly terrified because you had such a traumatic accident. And I think that could have been a lot more delved into, but also it's a romance novel, so there's not really a ton you can do with that format. But I think, I mean, I thought she was an interesting character just with her PTSD and ADHD. And like, I liked her family. I thought her family was interesting, even her older brother, who's being weird, according to Casey. So I guess I was always interested in the Ryder family.
Side note, while you were saying that, I did look up barrel racing events, and all the biggest ones, there's 2 that happen in Oklahoma, 1 in Utah, and 1 in Texas. And the most decorated barrel racer ever, she's from Bourne, Texas.
Bourne?
Yep. Barrel
I'm
racing
not
is
sure
really
where
big.
the Denver comes in.
Yeah, barrel racing is really big in rural Texas.
It's girls
like,
only too, right?
It's girls,
Yes.
yeah. It's like the girls' version of like riding a bull. Like
Broncos.
yeah.
That's
But
what
girls can buck Broncos.
I've been to PBR.
Honestly, I am starting to get really annoyed with this one very specific part of these rom-com books. And it's that they give the main
Starting to?
characters. Yeah, I mean, okay, I have like a million issues with rom-coms, but this is something that didn't used to bother me. And as I've read more and more for the podcast, it's started to annoy me more and more every time. And it's that I feel like these authors are giving their main characters these really intense problems. Like every single rom-com character has some just like terrible relationship in their life that's fallen apart or like horrible self-esteem issues. Like I feel like they always have some really acute problem, like an alcoholic parents or like PTSD from a horrible accident. Like these are like really intense problems that take years of an adult person's life to really deal with. And then they try to condense it into a 300-page novel. And it just comes across so fake and like badly done. Like, I'm just like, why did you even introduce this?
I will agree with you partially.
Mm-hmm.
I think in the year 2025, people are trying a lot harder to work in mental health storylines just to normalize it. However, I don't think all of them are going super well. This one, I'm like mental block, adjusting to an adult diagnosis of ADHD, and whatever else PTSD is going on here. I'm like, that's a lot.
Yeah.
That's very complicated. Maybe pick one. I appreciate the mental health representation. However, there should have also been like therapy. She was like forgetting to take meds most days. Like, yeah, I do think we've gone a little too hard into the mental health storylines lately.
And
Yeah.
it's also like you can have a problem that's just like taken down a few notches. Like if Emmy had just been struggling with ADHD, I think that would have been plenty for the novel.
Yeah.
Like that's
Her
already
ADHD
difficult.
thing was stronger, I think, than her mental block.
Right. And so it's like just forget the other stuff and focus on, you know, what you can really do in a short rom-com.
But like snaps for representation.
Yeah. But normalizing mental health, yay.
Yes.
Overall, though, I did like Emmy, even though it leaned kind of weirdly on the mental health side.
Just a
I don't know.
good dick in needing cure her mental health.
I'm gonna say that forever now.
Yeah.
Every character we have that is like having PTSD and be like, where's the good dickin'?
Period.
And I know what would help.
I don't even know what I was saying before that.
Someone call Luke Hastings.
Who's that?
Luke Brooks, you mean?
Oh shit. Where did I get Hastings from?
Don't know where you got Hastings from.
Honestly,
Okay.
at this point, we read so many books. You could name a book, and I probably couldn't tell you the main character's name.
Yeah.
I could tell you all about the book. Couldn't tell you their names.
It's so fair though.
Yeah. I don't know. I liked maybe just being from a more Midwestern, Western state. You know, we got a little bit of this culture going on. Like, I knew some families like this. Guys, McBee Dynasty is filmed like up the road from me. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of like the family. It was very like we're a close family. We take care of each other, and we take care of our town. And I don't mind that kind of trope. And I liked Emmy. I just think, you know, she was figuring herself out. I don't know how she got from point A to point B, but she figured it out. And like, yeah, let her have the hot cowboy that's sort of a cowboy. So
He's sort of a cowboy. He's just country. He's not a cowboy.
he dresses like a Missouri country kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The muscle tees and backwards cap, that is a Missouri kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that brings us to the male main character, Luke Brooks. I think you guys already know how I feel about him. I did not like him. But did you like, honestly, I think this is the bigger question, is what did you think of doing the dual POV?
Thought it was an interesting choice. I almost wish it was not dual POVs, only because I think then it could have led to a little more mystery and miscommunication, even though I don't love miscommunication. I think that's necessary for a romance novel at this point. Like I've accepted it. That is something that needs to happen in order for romance.
I don't know. I think it's for rom-com, not necessarily a romance.
Okay, yes, but
I also
and
think
this was a romance.
Yeah.
I also think, okay, the miscommunication trope is when the entire plot hinges on the two main characters not having a conversation.
Mm-hmm.
It's normal for there to be tension when you like someone and don't know what they're thinking.
Yes.
That's not miscommunication. That is just good tension. And like, as you like someone, not knowing if they like you back is like part of what gets you on the edge of your seat. That's fine.
You're right.
But as long as the plot of the novel is not based around the two characters misunderstanding each other.
Yeah.
I want to say something controversial.
Ooh.
I didn't mind the dual POV, but I actually might have liked this best just from Luke's POV.
Interesting.
Seeing your best friend's sister walk back into your bar after years and being like, oh no, she is hot. And then just like, I thought some of his stuff with his family was more interesting. So I almost think like just seeing his POV as an outsider of the Ryder family, but still sort of part of it, would have been more fun if you were going to pick one of them. I'm not about reading romances from boy POVs though. So
that's a hard line to cross.
Yeah. I don't know. It's different, but I do think the plot of like him being like, oh no, my best friend's sisters walked into my bar I own because my alcoholic dad left it to me and I don't see my mom anymore. And now I'm like, wait, hold on.
Like, is she
Yeah,
hot?
I'm actually going to agree with you, I think. I think the story is more interesting from his perspective, even though I didn't love his character. I did not like the dual POV. I think I agree with you, Catherine. It takes away some of that tension of just like not being clear on how the other person is evaluating what's happening. And I do agree with you, Caitlin. I think that he is a more interesting character than Emmy, just because of all the stuff that he is going on. So
Well, I think the dual POV, like I think they both had interesting backstories set up. We just didn't get enough of either of them because of the dual POV.
yeah.
I just feel like we just got a bit more of his because we like went to his mom's house and stuff, and that still wasn't resolved all the way.
Right. I also think he just has more to lose in all of this, which is not touched on in the book at all. But technically, if things go poorly between him and Emmy, he basically loses his family.
Right.
Like,
Yes.
The stakes are higher.
the stakes are extremely
And that
high
wasn't
for
talked
him.
about.
And it's not even touched on. And I was like, this is the most interesting part of the book. Could accidentally betray people who he has come to love deeply as his own family. Like, that is something.
No, I think you're right. I mean, would I ever probably read a romance novel from a man's perspective? That'll be hard for me. But I do think that if we're gonna choose a POV, he's kind of interesting if it's any man. But I do think it has to be one or the other, because I think this going back and forth, it makes it too obvious. Like, oh, he likes her, she likes him. What's the problem?
It's not. It's a romance.
Or I think you just need more of that like agonizing yearning. Like, there's just not enough yearning in this book.
No, the best scene romantically was, maybe you'll disagree with me. It was the spring. When they went to the spring, there was some tension. Like he was just trying to like comfort her and show her a secret spot and help her. And then there was some burn, you know?
Yeah.
And nothing came of it. They were close, but the phone call happened. I was like, that was some tension. I liked that.
Yeah, exactly. We want yearn. Because I think that's what made Butcher and Blackbird good, even though it is dual POV, is that book took the course over years and you just get both characters like just like yearning for
Sexual
each other,
tension.
wanting each other, but then like not being able to actually like act on it or not feeling like they can act
Right,
on
and
it.
being actual enemies and not being able to put into words why they are yearning for that person, where these are like fake enemies. And
Right.
they know exactly why they're yearning for that person.
Yeah. Okay. So that brings us to the next question, which is what did you think of the quote unquote slow burn romance and him helping her via sex with her PTSD? I'm kidding. It wasn't just sex. He's also there and very helpful and like helps her ride horses.
Okay, something I noticed too is I was like, wow, I feel like this all happened really fast, but they referenced this happened over months. And I don't feel like we got that timeline. So it does feel like he like comforted her and taught her to re-ride and then they had sex. Where I think there was a bigger time space than it reads like. I think a lot of the writing lessons happened over months and it did not come across that way until, because I was surprised at the end when she was like months of working on whatever. I was like, oh. This wasn't a month ago that you came here. Okay.
This wasn't 2 weeks and we fixed it.
Yeah. So I think they could have better emphasized how long it had been. And then the slow burn would have come across better. And the mental health, like, improvements would have come across better. It did just feel like insta fix, and those two things went hand in hand.
Yeah. All right. So we've already touched on the mental health stuff.
We've also touched on the Ryder family. So we might as well just talk about the ending. Emmy is cured. She gets back on the horse
and breaks a fucking record.
But she got back on that horse and won the barrel race with the biggest record in her hometown and retired and got the man.
And then kissed the man and her brother comes and punches.
I was waiting for that. I knew that would be the tension point.
Yeah.
I also thought it was so stupid though that she runs up to him and kisses him when I was like, girl, you know, I already know about this.
I'm
Like,
also
you
like,
know
you
what's
talked
gonna
about how much
happen.
you missed your
was
dad, and your
confused.
dad's right there.
Yeah.
Hug your dad.
It felt so, I don't know.
It was weird.
It felt forced.
It was a
It felt
movie
forced to me.
moment.
Yeah, the author needed to bring it to that point to set everything off. And so it just felt a little forced to me.
It was a movie moment. It's a book, so it didn't come across the same way.
Because she was always very careful about not like revealing the relationship, but
she
then
realized she loved this man and she wanted to show the world, Catherine.
I just remembered something else that bothered me. And it's the fact that they were keeping this relationship a quote unquote secret. And then he's leaving his car in front of their house overnight.
The whole time they were doing that. I was like, sir, your car's outside.
Dad knows.
Look, your car, the car's outside.
Shirts. Yes. And he's always with her at her place. So it's always them two together at her family home. Like, what do you mean?
They know.
And also,
everybody but Gus knew, okay?
Every single person in the town knows. So how would the brother not know?
Because everyone's afraid to tell him.
Because he's crazy.
From his own brain, how could he not know? Your best friend's car.
On his baby mama and his daughter, I don't know, and running the ranch and bossing his siblings around.
Yeah, being way too invested in their private lives, just distracting, apparently. All right. Well, our last question is, will you continue on with the series? We know Catherine already has.
Is the series complete?
Yes.
Okay, so would you read more of her books?
It's 4 books. It follows 2 of the siblings and the baby mama.
Oh.
Which the baby mama story is interesting, I'll say that.
Okay, so you've read 4 of these.
Yes.
Okay, I will not be reading any more of these.
You wanted just to clarify there's 4 and then said, no, I'm not reading anything.
No, I'm not against reading more of them. I just have things I'd rather read.
That's fair.
Yep. Catherine,
Casey
what
is against reading more of them.
Yeah, I'm like morally opposed. Catherine, what rating did you give them all?
I gave the second one, I think, 2 stars. I gave the third one 4 stars, and I gave the fourth one 3 stars.
Catherine's trying to up her book count for the year, so she just kept reading.
I'm behind on my schedule, but also
So am I.
It's easy. It's easy. They're easy reads. I wanted easy reads. That's what I got. Don't judge me.
Yeah. I'm not judging you.
Caitlin is.
I'm not. I'm typing.
You're typing?
I'm getting ready for our book recommendations.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of book recommendations, we're done with the discussion. So
yeah, that's why I was typing.
Yeah, do you guys have book recommendations?
Yes. Dibs.
Okay.
A romance that I actually liked that had to do with a mental block and actually did a decent representation of like mental health and working through that. Deep End.
You're right. That had a better representation of mental
I was like, I'd rather be reading Deep End the whole time. It was a sport, there was a mental block, and it did a better job both with the slow burn and the mental health recovery.
You're correct. That actually is very accurate on both counts. Allie Hazelwood does a good job. I met her.
There are not werewolves involved. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, I have 2 recommendations, and I think they might both be surprises. So The first one I'm going to recommend is Book Lovers, which is one of the only rom-coms that I've like genuinely enjoyed reading. And I recommend that one, I mean, basically because it's a rom-com, but it also is like small town, 2 people connecting in this small town and kind of like getting to know each other and merging their families. I also like that one better because it's the inverse of the city girl stereotype. So the city girl stays a city girl in Book Lovers, which I did enjoy. The other one I'm going to recommend is just like a little curveball just because this book technically included sports. And so I'm going to recommend Carrie Soto is Back. Just because it's also a romance and you get a lot of the intensity of a high-level athlete with romance. So,
yeah.
I'm going to recommend a book I've already mentioned in this podcast that I want to try and convince Casey to read. It's Icebreaker.
No.
Deals with the sport of figure skating and hockey. And it's a cute little romance book that I think if you're a romance reader, you should read and enjoy. I love going and, want to go to a boy aquarium. I love the idea that we're calling hockey games boy aquariums now. It's just so great.
I love that the TikTok girls have caused a like resurgence in like minor hockey league fandom.
Yeah. No,
literally. Like the NHL had no issue, but I'm seeing more on TikTok of girls going to see like minor league games.
Yes.
And how fun for the guys that at least they're getting more fans.
Yeah, they're getting more fans. I think it's also super interesting because like even the NHL now is calling their own.
They acknowledge
boy aquariums. They know that's where the money is girls with disposable income willing to come and watch guys play hockey.
The boy aquarium.
Plus, the players obviously love it. Like, they want pretty girls at their games. Like
the video, you should look up like a video of some of those boys reading sections of like Icebreaker. Like,
oh my God, it's
the
so
social
funny.
media manager hands it to them and they're like, oh. And then you see a couple of them are like reading it later.
And then a couple of them are like looking at the media manager like, have you read this?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Also, like the off-campus series, I'll recommend that as well because that's becoming Amazon Prime movie series.
Isn't that also Hannah Grace?
Romance.
That's not Hannah Grace.
That is it, Hannah Grace? I don't think it is. No.
Okay. Well, that's the end of our discussion. We brought you something lighter for once. It's been a while. So we hope you enjoyed a little romance. We only have a few more books left in 2025. So be sure to stick with us. Follow us at Busy Girls Pod. Rate and review our podcast if you could. And that's it for this week. I'm Caitlin.
I'm Casey.
And I'm Catherine. Thanks for listening. And when you get a chance, take a break with the Busy Girls Book Club.